and we are back with another episode of Umineko.
Hi.
I'm not sure if it's being picked up by the mic, but my cat is in here.
He's purring so loud.
Like, we can hear him. I don't know if the mics can. It's so loud.
I'd be surprised if it's not being picked up.
Yeah, me too. Alright. Time to continue.
Huh?
When she left the boat, it seemed to Ava as though she'd heard the voice of her young self. No, it hadn't seemed that way. Someone had told her, "Welcome back," after becoming a shameless adult. The voice of her young self was distant.
What am I living for? What can I do to release myself from this obsession?
Everyone turns to look at her like, what are you talking about? Hideyoshi heard her talking to herself. When Hideyoshi held on tightly to Ava's shoulders, his firmness alone told her that there was no need to stay anymore. Maybe it was because the typhoon was getting closer. The lively cries of the seagulls, which usually greeted them when they arrived, couldn't be heard at all. Alright, yeah, cool. Oh damn, we're fucking zooming.
2 p.m.
Alright. This is new. Hands down, and we see a 7-Eleven. Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, Cookie? Wait, you mean 6 years ago? I mean, I was still in elementary school back then, right? What are you meowing at?
Hey.
Cookie, what's up?
He has jumped between us and he is kneading.
And purring really loud, so... Cookie. Don't fall into the mic.
Be nice.
I'm just lifting him up.
Okay.
It's pretty unfair to expect me to remember everything, don't you think? True! Especially because we were so young. We've grown a lot in these 6 years. If I hadn't been introduced, I might not have even remembered you. Really? I figured he was Battler right away. And when he opened his mouth, I was sure.
I just met him for the first time. Didn't know him 6 years ago.
That's right. Maria-sama was only 3 years old then.
Well, the same goes for me. I only knew Maria when she was 3 years old, and since she's grown so big, of course I wouldn't recognize her. After lunch, we had all gone out to the beach to walk around, talk, and take it easy. Our parents were apparently having a suspicious, complicated discussion, so we ended up leaving them behind. Well, just as I guessed from the start, the conversation focused on me, since I'd been away for 6 years. Still, you've really gotten tall! I wouldn't call myself short, but your height really surprised me.
And that's right. I remember well what Battler-sama was like 6 years ago, but I was surprised even so.
When I was 10... Just reminding you that she's 16! Yeah, seriously. I can hardly believe this is the same Battler we knew back then. I'm surprised how much everyone remembers about it. My memory's all hazy. Yeah, I'll bet. Looks like it's taking you a while to remember us. You know that hurts a bit. Come on, this was 6 years ago, right? I'm the one who's had it bad at being forced to remember.
Are you saying that you can't remember it? You can't remember well because it was 6 years ago? I can remember it as clearly as if it happened yesterday.
Well, your memory's great after all. You remember the kind of things Battler did and said back then pretty clearly, don't you? Come to think of it, that's right. Shannon's memory can be incredible when you'd least expect it.
I'm horrible at remembering. I remember fun things, but can't remember boring things at all.
I'm so used to her spouting cryptic shit, that this here and then I was like, huh? Who the fuck is this? We all laughed, saying that everyone was like that. Shannon, by the way, what was Battler like 6 years ago? Remember any interesting episodes?
Let's see. I'm sure that he said something like this when he left. I'll be back. See you again. I'll surely come for you riding a white horse.
Ah! Stop it, so embarrassing! Sounds just like something you'd say. Yeah, I remember you always used to be full of those stupid lines, Battler. It really does sound like something Battler-kun would have said back then.
Embarrassing? You sound embarrassing.
Yeah, embarrassing. Maria, I'm sure that when you're in middle school, you'll want to say embarrassing stuff like that. When that happens, make sure you write it down and read it 3 times before saying it out loud. If you don't, you'll definitely regret it. Still, everyone has to pass through that pitiful period. That's right, Tetsuo, you learn your place, learn shame, and become an adult. Yeah, it's one of those bittersweet things everyone does in adolescence as they transition to becoming adults. A memory you just want to forget. Ah! After all, this was all stuff I'd let slip out without thinking, so I didn't remember the words exactly. But now that those words were being recited to me, they were as embarrassing as all hell. I only recently came to understand this weakness, and was working hard to avoid such careless outbursts, but I guess I was just born with the habit of speaking without thinking, and there's nothing I can do about it. Shannon, do you remember any other embarrassing stuff?
Yes, well, I remember a few other things, but since it looks like the person in question wants to forget them, I think I'll refrain from saying any more.
What is she thinking when she's blushing? What is she going back on? Battler, what did you do? Be brutally honest, I don't remember this at all. Please don't make me remember.
Shannon's bullying Battler. You can't. You shouldn't bully people.
Ooh, Shannon's bullying Battler? Looks like I need to teach someone a lesson. Just like Maria's just fucking beating the shit out of like, whoa, whoa! She isn't really bullying him. Let's leave it at that, okay? But Shannon, you have to tell me how about it sometime Battler isn't around. It sounds pretty interesting.
Yes, certainly.
No, you can't, Shannon-chan! For a while, George Aniki laughed at me, as though warming up for when Shannon-chan would tell him about more of my embarrassing misspeaks. George looked like he was flirting with Shannon, but he seemed somewhat open and frank about it. Oh. He was always that way with his cousins, but he usually took on a reserved, gentlemanly attitude when he came in contact with the servants. So they're learning something between each iteration.
What do you mean?
Like, as the episode's been going on, George has been more and more open about his affections for Shannon.
Oh, okay.
And Shannon has also been more open toward it as well.
Yeah, true.
When I thought about it, I got the feeling he was being a bit overly friendly, which seems strange. By the way, we're both fucking! Oh. Maria started scribbling in the sand with a stick, and George Aniki and Shannon-chan joined in. This left me and Jessica off to the side, so I asked her secretively. Hey, Jessica. Is George Aniki, going out with Shannon-chan? Oh? What the? How'd you guess? Tyler, you got a keener eye for people than I thought. Huh? What? I was just kidding, but they're actually going out? Shh! Your voice is too loud. It looks like they're keeping it a secret for now, okay? It'd be better if nobody found out about it, especially Aunt Ava. If Aunt Ava forgot about what? Didn't know about what? Just comes in off the side. I see. Well, with a servant, huh? Battler, where are you? Yeah, but since when? Whew, I guess a lot can happen in 6 years. But yeah, Anaki's an amazing person, and Cookie, stop moving the mouse. Okay. But yeah, Anaki's an amazing person, and Shanan-chan seems to be kind and brave. So they might make a pretty good match. Actually, 6 years ago, I remember taking notice of her just a little bit. I see. She really fits well with George Anaki. Except for the age gap. Nothing I can do about that. Goodbye, my fleeting first love of 6 years ago. Which means that the collection of embarrassing lines Shanna just held back on probably had something to do with that. Oh fuck, I can't take it. How long has it been going out? That depends on what you call going out, but I think it's been at least a year. But if you count the time they both had one-sided feelings, it'd probably be several years. Before I'd realized it, the two of them had separated themselves from the group and were walking down the beach talking about something. They looked calm. And rather than a light relationship between two lovers, it looked like a more serious one, as though they were already engaged. 6 years ago, huh? That's a long time. What have those 6 years mean to me? I've just gotten taller. It's just a waste of time. 6 years I spent obstinately fighting with my dad. What about you, Battler? You got a girlfriend? I wonder. There's a few girls that I have fun with. What a fucking king! When there's no only one. I guess I'm just a kid. I think it's more fun to be noisy with a large group of people than being alone with one person. Ah, that's so you, Battler. But take your relationships with your female friends seriously. When girls get wrong impressions or form a group, it can be scary, you know? They might be having secret feuds over you behind your back, with people getting hurt or crying. That's so weird. I think I remember getting the same bit of advice from one of the girls in my class just last week. What's this all about? Why can't everyone just have fun together? Do people really want to couple up that much? I just think monogamy is an institution. I can't believe polyamorous battler is canon.
So true.
It's probably because you never found a partner like that, Battler. Well, you might run into someone sooner or later, like a witch that's trying to torture you for an eternity. You just gotta wait patiently. Like eternity. What? It almost sounds like you found a partner like that. What about you? Have you gotten a boyfriend? Huh? Me? No. Come on, that reaction's so easy to understand. From the looks of it, there's some boy you're thinking about, but you haven't been able to confess to him yet. Something like that. Maybe in a previous time, in an alternate timeline, he died protecting you, or you died protecting him. And then you died together. No, that's not, shut up, who cares about that? If you're the one who brought up the subject, why are you yelling at me now? Women are creatures who always ask questions and yet almost never answer them. You could tell I'm Rudolph's son. What cruel creature, seriously. You hear that, Beatrice? Well, I did try to confess once. Well, I struck out pretty badly. Did you get an I'm sorry? No, my feelings were seriously one-sided, and they didn't really know how to respond, I guess. It was like they didn't view me that way at all. Well, I can understand that. You talk like a man, after all, Jesus. If you don't act a bit more graceful, then you won't be able to catch a boy's interest. Is it really? Is the way I speak really that bad? I mean, talk isn't everything, but when people like you, when people like you, who usually have a rough style of speech, and start working hard to talk more normally, well, there are guys out there whose heart will skip a beat when they see how determined you are. Is this the Gap Moe I've heard so much about? Is that really true? I see. Yeah. Jessica suddenly started talking more meekly, and then her face instantly went slightly red. I see. Even though her confession didn't go well, it looks like she still hasn't given up. But still, I get it. After seeing how close Janaki and Shannon-chan have gotten, I also kind of want to find a girlfriend. It just meta battler goes up like, well, okay. 6 years. 6 years of puberty are pretty important, and they went by fast. As the typhoon approached, the clouds grew steadily grayer, but even so, I had this really refreshing feeling. Maybe I'll try thinking more seriously about the opposite sex, more than just the size of their boobs. Meta Battler, like, can we skip this part? What the hell, Cookie? Cookie just bit me, what the fuck? By the way, it looks like George Aniki's going out with the servant. Don't tell me it's the same for you. Is he... Cookie, don't also bite Rena.
It's a very gentle bite. It's fine.
Huh? What? Why do you think that? Is it Genji?
No!
Come to think of it, that kid Cannon-kun greeted us in the Rose Garden. You're covering for him pretty intensely, considering he was just a little awkward at talking. No, that's not... Now you're getting paranoid. Then tell me just one thing. Right now. Is the boy you're after within 1 kilometer of this spot? Well, about that. I wonder. Cannon-kun was the only boy on the sideline now who could possibly become her boyfriend. I don't know. How much of a creep is Goda?
Oh no. No, Goda's only interested in Jessica's mom. Joke.
So,
but I do want to get your thoughts on the whole lore drop we got about Battler and Shannon.
yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah. You just didn't really react to it, so.
Yeah, no, it's because I wasn't shocked at all. Like,
Yeah.
Like, it'd be more shocking if Battler was like, yeah, I never really had a crush on Shannon at all. Like, are you kidding me? Like, oh, of course he would. Of course he would have a crush on Shannon.
Yeah.
Look at him.
What do you mean, look at him?
He's Rudolph's son.
Yeah.
You tell me when Rudolph was his age, he didn't have a few trysts with a servant or two?
We had talked about this before.
Yeah.
Rudolph and Rosa covering for each other.
Yeah, exactly. So judging by her reaction, I was right on. I didn't think of the Ushiromiya family as a noble family, but love with a servant. I wouldn't have dreamed that 2 pairs of Romeo and Juliet would be right next to me. Aunt Ava would probably become an obstacle to George Anki and Shan-chan's love. If Aunt Ava ever learned that Shan-chan was the partner of her only beloved son, she'd probably scream at her for trying to steal away her precious George. And a relationship between Jessica and Cannon-kun would probably be just as full of difficulties. Aunt Natsui was also very strict about that kind of thing. After all, Jessica's husband would probably become the head of the Ushiromiya family in the future. No, I think Cannon would be one hell of a head.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If that person had once been a servant working for the family, well, things would get complicated. Well, love is different for every person. Love is love, gay rights. As long as you're with someone who's fun to be around, does anything else matter?
Yeah, but...
When 2 people pair up, they don't need anyone's permission as long as they accept each other. Worrying about what your parents or family will say means you've already lost. Don't forget that. Better not go out with someone with mixed feelings. Ally Battler?
Yeah.
I can't believe you're saying something so philosophical. Philosophical sounding when you haven't even been in love. Don't treat love like a matter of profit and loss. It's about heart. That's all I have to say. Well then, see you again. Have a nice day. Nissan, Shantan, listen! The guy, he just said another one of those lines. I didn't say anything. Don't make fun of me. That's you.
Ooh, I heard it. See you again. See you again.
For a while, we forgot that the wind was getting stronger and played around on the beach. Until a heavy gust came by and picked Maria up. Oh shit! I grew a lot these past 6 years, and being able to celebrate my youth and me with all my cousins was truly refreshing. It was a bit late now, but I realized I should have gotten back together with everyone a lot sooner, and returned to the Ushiromiya family. Sure, it's nice to have all the cousins together every once in a while.
I like it too. It's really fun when all the cousins get together.
That's right. We're already old enough. It's not like we couldn't meet each other with our parents aren't around. It might not be a bad idea to gather the cousins together and play every once in a while. That's a good plan! Maybe we should set up something like that the next time we get a chance. Yeah, I agree. I hope we cousins can stay friends forever. I sure hope we don't get in a never-ending loop of death and suffering. Hey, if you make it such a big deal of it, you almost make it sound like relatives usually end up hating each other. George, Aniki, and Jessica laughed, but it felt just a little strained. Did I say something wrong? Judging by how our parents made quiet expressions and tired faces every once in a while during the boat ride and at the airport, maybe I should have kept that to myself. You're right. Just like Jessica said, let's always be friends to each other.
Me too. We're all friends.
That's right. Yeah, we'll always be together. We'll always be friends.
I forgot I was Jessica. Man, we've been saying some pretty embarrassing stuff. I feel kind of awkward.
But I think it's very important. People are creatures who find it very hard to stay together, much less remain friends unless they truly desire it.
That's right. You really can't take everyone being friendly for granted.
A witch I know said it. Happiness won't be granted unless everyone believes in it.
That's true. Maybe some magic exists in the power of belief. If we all believe in that, I'm sure it'll bring us happiness.
Love how everyone just brushes off. Yeah, a witch I know said it.
This is Maria.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, if we're doing embarrassing stuff already, let's all swear to believe in this together, okay? That will always be friendly, that will always be happy. Shit, what Beatrice gonna do now?
Yeah.
Power of friendship? You're fucked! Like hell, we end up like our parents. As if we'd ever search for each other's weakness, going after grandfather's fortune. Okay. We'll always be friendly and happy. Let's all believe in that. No matter how much we cousins tried to nostalgically have fun, dark clouds continue to approach on Rokkenjima. I wonder if the typhoon will pass and let us see the clear skies before we leave this island. Who cares about what our parents were planning? Who cares about the inheritance and the honor of our old family? As youthful as we were, we were renewing our old friendship. And we all believed together that we could find happiness. That's why I want this pair of days to end without anything weird happening. In peace and happiness. And calmly. No, I don't just want them to end. Please let them end.
Let them end.
God damn it! Don't show up! Don't appear! God damn it!
Unappear.
Oh, don't... Wait, what? Don't show up,
I'm
don't
just saying,
appear.
yeah, unappear.
Oh, unappear, okay.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I finally prepared a new game. Come, let us begin this tale of tragedy.
I like to imagine that, like, this is Meta Battler and Battler going through it is, like, kind of the same one. Where, like, time freezes and he gets his memories back real quick. He's like, what the fuck, man?
That would be pretty great. Come to me, winds, rain, typhoon. Cut this island off from the real world. Throw Rokkenjima into another realm, into the spirit world, into a world of fantasy.
Six people have been murdered.
Already?
And so the tale repeated for the third time. However, to an endless witch, it wouldn't even matter whether it was the first, second, or third time. Probably didn't matter at all. After all, this was a tale of fantasy, endlessly repeating until the match was settled. Would Battler surrender first, or would the witch? The end. Oh, episode 3 was quick. Then the sky grew dark and cloudy, and the rain and wind were summoned together and became a typhoon. Maria could be seen in the rose garden, paying no mind to the rain that had started falling, going around in circles, searching for that single rose that should have been marked.
Not here. Not here. My rose that we marked isn't here.
Maria definitely remembered it. That rose had been in the flower bed right here, and yet it wasn't anymore. She didn't know what to do with their irritation at not being able to find something that should have been there. And motivatingly, she couldn't help but keep going back and forth in circles around the same spot. She was acting as though she'd been able to see it if she'd looked at a different angle, but even though she did that, there was no way to find something that wasn't there. We've been through this a few times. The wind grew increasingly strong, and the rain turned into cold, large drops. There was no way even Maria would fail to notice this. However, if she couldn't find her rose here, it would surely disappear forever. Maria believed that. That feeling spurred her on to keep searching for a rose that she had no chance of finding. Then, the cold drops of rain tormenting Maria were suddenly blocked. Maria raised her head. When she did, she saw an umbrella there protecting her from the rain. And the one holding that umbrella was... Oh. I wish she admired Beatrice. I was hoping it was going to be a battler.
Beatrice,
What are you doing so frantically in the middle of all this rain? You could catch a cold like this. Even witches have to care for their own health.
I can't find my rose. No matter how many times I search, even though it should have been here, I can't find it.
Maria told Beatrice about how there had been a slightly unhealthy, pitiful rose, and that she was sure they had marked it.
Oh, so you can't find it. If you are a witch's apprentice, you should use magic to search for the rose. I believe that searching with just your eyes won't be nearly enough.
I can't find it. I did my best and tried to search with magic, but I can't find it.
I think practicing your magic is a very good thing, but it might be a little too much for you with all this wind and rain. Allow me to lend you some special power.
Cocaine. What?
Concern for one's disciples is also one of a teacher's duties.
Thank you, Beatrice.
Maria's face, which had been full of sadness until just now, split open into a grin. Maria knew. She knew there was nothing Beatrice's magic couldn't do. So she was sure that Beatrice would be able to find the rose easily, even though Maria couldn't.
Fuck, where's this goddamn rose?
Beatrice closed her eyes lightly, acting as though she was listening for something in all this wind and rain. And as she heard it, opened her eyes and spoke.
All things in this world are transitory. Too bad, Maria.
Fuck, hold on, give me a second.
Oh yeah, you need your
Yeah,
soundboard.
you never know when it's gonna come.
It seems a rose couldn't withstand all of this wind and rain.
And my rose?
It was uprooted by the wind, and is no longer of this world.
When Beatrice had said what Beatrice had said was quite reasonable. There was nothing odd about the flower being broken off at the stem in the strong wind. However, Maria couldn't accept this and bitterly gave a low-pitched moan.
No.
Oh,
No. It's my rose. My rose won't come back. No. I'll bring it back to life with my magic. Beatrice, teach me how to revive a rose with magic.
it's not too early for an apprentice like you to learn the hidden art of endless magic. Know your place.
My God, is Beatrice gonna show a shred of humanity? Maria wiped the tears from her eyes, full of regret. Never mind. I guess she wasn't. Beatrice shrugged her shoulders and chuckled at Maria's pitiable expression.
Very well. I will lend you my power, the hidden art that can revive a rose.
Shit.
Really?
Showing a shred of humanity.
Indeed. Well then, concentrate the power of your heart. Close your eyes, forget the rain, forget the wind, and search the soul of the wandering rose. Search for the soul of the wandering rose with the eyes of your heart. It's loud.
Yeah.
Loud cat.
Maria closed her eyes. Then she repeated Beatrice's song-like words.
Come, try to remember. Rose, what form did you have?
Come, try to remember. Rose, what form did you have?
Don't look, don't listen, and believe. Release the power of your soul from the cage of flesh that imprisons it. That's it. Good.
Around Maria, who was concentrating her power, her eyes tightly shut, small golden butterflies began to dance. Was this the manifestation of the magical power Maria held?
Lost soul of the rose, gather into one and remember your form. Come, gather, remember.
The glitter of the gold butterflies began to strengthen, and their numbers increased. Then Beatrice raised a finger up to the skies, and they began to gather at the tip of that finger. This was the miracle of the golden magic. The gold butterflies began to condense into a single dazzling grain of gold. It was a single glittering gold seed. It rode on the tip of Beatrice's finger, budded into a golden sprout, and opened into a golden leaf. It then slowly fell from that fingertip, sank into the mud of the flower bed, and began to grow steadily. Maria, who admired magic and the witch, really wanted to see this fantastical sight. However, as an apprentice, Maria was still not qualified to see it. No, she was probably afraid that, if she opened her eyes to look, the power that she had concentrated in her heart would be cut off, and the magic would be lost. Therefore, Beatrice, as the only one permitted to witness this golden miracle, was the only witch, the sole master of many miracles. Then, the fully grown rose bloomed, creating one golden flower. And when Beatrice poked it with her finger, in just the right way, the gold-colored sparkles scattered, just as if a golden soap bubble had been popped, and what remained was a single beautiful rose.
It looks like you've remembered a splendid rose. However, if we just leave it mixed in with these other roses, you won't be able to tell it apart. Shall I perform one last service?
Beatrice, for the sake of her cute apprentice, who was moaning even more now in concentration, decided to use one more bit of magic. When she snapped her fingers, a single gold butterfly appeared, fluttered around, and landed on the flower that had just been revived. Then suddenly it burst open and disappeared, becoming golden lace and marking the rose.
That will do. Maria, you may open your eyes now.
Where's the rose? It's not here. Not here.
Not over there, over here. Look, I've marked it with golden lace.
What? You did? Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you, Beato. Thank you, Beato. I want to become a witch quickly. A great witch like you.
And you can. Long ago, I too wished for that innocently, just as you do. And I've attained that level.
Maria was ecstatic over the revived rose, clapping her hands and jumping around in joy. Watching that, Beatrice also smiled, looking fairly pleased. A shred of humanity has been shown. By now I could break and repair any soul if I tried. Okay. Not just that of a rose and kill and revive as it pleased. Come, the barrier of the storm has now sealed Rokkenjima off from the natural world. Now is the time for the Golden Witch, Beatrice, to descend as an endless witch. Beatrice pulled from her pocket an envelope with the family crest, the one-winged eagle, and gave it to Maria. Maria frolicked around at being selected to be the witch's messenger.
So, Kinzo, I've come to join in on your fun once more. My preparations are already complete. What of you? Have you prepared enough coins to bet in tonight's game? Oh no. Of course. I'm fully prepared, Beatrice. I've assembled a plethora of pieces. I'm ready both physically and mentally. So then, let us make the ante. All that you have given should be returned to you in the end. Come, take it.
Kinzo flung the window of his study open wide, took off the valuable golden ring that had been on his finger, and threw it into the darkness of the raging wind ring. That ring was struck by lightning, and after twinkling gold for an instant, disappeared. Kinzo watched it go, grinning broadly and fearlessly.
I don't think I'll lose. You are mine. Forever.
flashbanged. The ring that Kinzo had thrown became a single gold butterfly and fluttered around in the wind and rain. It headed for the rose garden, almost as though it was being guided there. It then found the figure of the golden witch and fluttered down. When it came down right in front of Beatrice, it burst open and returned to its original form, flying through the air. The way it was going, you would have expected it to fall into a puddle, but it stopped suddenly in midair. Almost as if some transparent person had caught it. Apparently, even Beatrice hadn't expected this. However, she realized who it was, and grinned broadly at it. Who the fuck is this? As she did, the shadow of the person who had caught her the ring began to fuzzily appear. Who the big fuck? It was the figure of a young man wearing a butler's uniform embroidered with the one-winged eagle crest. There was no man like this among the servants of the Uchinomiya family. Even so, Beatrice laughed as though it was someone she remembered fondly.
Ronove, is it? It's
Huh?
been quite some time. It seems you have remembered me. You were always a man who took loyalty seriously.
Should I check character bio or?
Nope.
Okay. What voice should I give him?
Whatever you want, I don't know. He's kinda gay, so...
Yeah, it's been quite some time. I don't know.
Make him sound at least a little bit gay. Just a little bit, at least.
How? I don't know how to do that. Yes. No. Fuck. Should I just do my bad acting voice?
What's your bad acting voice? What does that mean?
It has been quite some time since your last correspondence.
No.
I love that voice. It's so fun.
What kind of vibes does this guy give you?
Genji-like, but I already do.
Then go ahead.
Just do the Genji voice?
Or something like it.
Hold on, let me pause it. Alright, I looked up a clip of Genesis Rhapsodus from Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. It has been quite some time since your last correspondence. Not for a single day have I, Renove, forgotten that I serve you, milady. I was more afraid that you had forgotten about me. After all, you can be quite forgetful.
I see, yes, I certainly am forgetful. I'd forgotten even your sarcasm until I heard it again.
Alright, I feel like I did a good choice. I haven't played Crisis Core, but but my friend Karina of Kingdom Hearts fame loves all Final Fantasy VII games, and from what she has told me about Genesis, this seems fitting. Milady, take this. With an exaggerated yet elegant gesture, he bowed respectfully, and held out to Beatrice the head's ring that he had just caught. It is the Uchinomiya family head's ring, returned to you from Uchinomiya Kinzo. It is now once again in the possession of its master.
Indeed. This is Kinzo announcing the start of the game. Of course I'll accept it.
So, how shall we play tonight? Shall I prepare the roulette immediately? Or shall I prepare some black tea first?
I can't decide which, but first I need you to greet someone. I'm sure that guy has got his mouth hanging open and can't shut it. Right, Battler?
Yeah, what the fuck? Greetings. Allow me to introduce myself. Oh. Ronove, one of the 72 great demons, works for a master in exchange for various forms of compensation. He currently has a contract with Beatrice as her butler, head furniture. He's become proficient at housekeeping after serving in many households, so his ability as a butler is very high. And the high society of witches employing him has become a kind of status symbol. Furthermore, the cookies he bakes are superb. Oh, and witches will often form a line demanding them. Okay. Just also fucking cracked at making cookies. Okay. He must possess tremendous magical power, but since he always stays out of the spotlight to further boost his master's reputation, his combat capabilities are unknown.
Seems like he baked this cookie right here. Because this is a tremendous cookie.
I am called Renove, and I serve at the side of Milady Beatrice. It is truly a pleasure to meet you.
See? His mouth's hanging open and he can't shut it, right?
Yeah, no shit! Another incomprehensible guy just showed up! First I grumble about go-headed people doing the Bond dance, and then go-heads start showing up in swarms. And since then, not only have those seven ass Nasons appeared, now there's even a butler! It doesn't make sense! Cut this shit out!
By the way, Battler, did you notice? Did you realize that meeting him is a true devil's proof?
Devil's proof? What the fuck you mean?
It may not look like it, but this guy's one of the 72, a genuine demon. In other words, I've brought a demon right in front of you, which truly proves that they exist. Renove holds a noble rank in hell, the 27th highest ranked great demon. He's a pretty useful man.
And 26 people who are more useful than him, apparently.
I summoned him at high cost and made him serve me.
It is an honor to meet you. While my name is amongst those of the nobles of hell, I now serve as the head furniture of Beatrice-sama, who despite being a vulgar human, is a great witch of such caliber that demons flee before her.
He's a very useful man, but he's impudent with his words. Frustratingly enough, he sometimes forgets to respect his master.
Nothing in my contract specifies the manner in which I am to speak. Would you like to change the contract?
It keeps me entertained, so it's fine.
Beatrice turned her back to him, cackling. After bowing once to her back, Renove turned back to Battler and stuck out his right hand, showing off an innocent smile. Normally, this would mean that he was asking for a handshake. What is this supposed to be? I am another who has been subjected to Milady's whims. In that sense, I'm sure we could become good friends. I ship it. So when are these two gonna fuck?
I mean, there's a lot of
Homoerotic?
there's a lot of like in-canon jokes about them.
I hope this takes a hard right turn into a yaoi visual novel.
I fucking wish.
So fucking
I gotta
funny.
make a mod for that.
This is
I'd
like
love to make a mod for that.
just like out of nowhere. I'm sure we could become good friends. This is a handshake of friendship. Of course, this in no way implies your entry into a contract with a demon, so fear not. Well, I don't believe in demons, so sorry, but I'm in the middle of a big fight with your master. I only shake hands with an enemy after we've beaten each other up in a rainy schoolyard and all won out, like something you'd see in a teen drama. Remember that. I see. To shake hands with you, Battler-sama, I must create a fitting atmosphere in a suitable location. This is gay. Exchanging sweet words and physical language with you that rings true to your heart. This is gay! What the fuck? When the opportunity arrives, I shall arrange for such an encounter. I must say, I simply love situations like that myself. As Renove laughed, talking,
Yo,
he whispered to Battler, bringing his face so close that their noses were almost touched. What? This is so gay! How many fics between Battler and Renove are there?
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, find some non-spoiler fics for me, please.
Okay.
Battler. His face turning red after getting so close to another of the same sex pushed him away. Battler, you're queer! You're a creepy bastard? It's shoddy? I see, just right for Beato's Butler. It is an honor to receive such words of praise. I'm very confident in my tea brewing abilities, so please look forward to tea time. Baking cookies is one of my hobbies, so please feel free to request any snacks you may desire. You're enough of a snack for me.
Just what I'd expect from a pair of the same gender. You've started getting along well right off the bat.
Is Beatrice a Fujoshi?
Maybe, something like that.
I'm jealous! Damn, Beatrice!
I'm jealous.
He's like, I wanted to fuck Battler. Why is this demon fucking Battler already? I wanted to fuck him! My. I apologize for making you jealous, milady. I shall not sneakily snatch your guest away from you. Well then, I'll leave for now to retake my post as head furniture and greet my subordinates. Please forgive my short absence. More Beatrice.
Indeed. Only the common ghosts and the seven sisters used for the ceremony have manifested themselves. You will be able to finish greeting them in no time.
Oh? Those lively seven sisters are here? I wonder if those naughty girls have grown a little more graceful. I'm changing this voice, and I don't know how I'm changing it, but it feels like it's making it more gay and horny.
Yeah.
If that's graceful, I'll have to doubt the definition of the word graceful. Is that so? Then I suppose you've already had the opportunity to play with those sisters. Judging by your expression, it would seem they're just as naughty as always. Even though I'm always telling them to act more fitting as servants of Beatrice-sama. What troublesome kids. If that's your problem, don't worry. They actually act perfectly fitting for that master.
Now even you have begun to say it. However, a conversation means that you accept your partner. The fact that you've started to respond to my idle chatting proves that you are gradually starting to accept my existence.
You existing and you being a witch are two separate things. That's because even if the sun starts rising from the west, I will definitely, absolutely never accept that you're a witch. You might want to try a more positive approach, like crying and kissing my shoes. Even if Battler was bluffing, he still spoke forcefully, a fearless expression on his face. The witch and her butler snickered together, realizing that their guest had regained more than enough of his willpower to attend to a new game, and that preparations were complete. After Renove exchanged a few words with Beatrice, he bowed silently to Battler, scattered into several gold butterflies, and disappeared.
It is truly pleasing to have such a boisterous atmosphere.
Are you reading a fic right now?
I am screening a fic for spoilers.
They're so real.
How boring were the days when I was trapped alone on this island, unable to regain my power and lacking anyone to talk to.
I get how that unpleasant guy is really fitting as your butler. But tell me, why has that butler only appeared now? It said something about how only the goats and the Neichans of the Seven Stakes had manifested themselves. What does that mean?
Indeed. You still resist, but I am a fully fledged witch. I am in contact with several non-human entities in the spirit world.
I'll bet. No sane people would hang out with you. First some goat monsters, then those ass Naisans, and this time a demon butler showed up. I had to think about it, but the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if even more weird people appeared. We've seen nothing yet, have we?
Among the furniture that work at my great golden mansion, how many demons do you think want to come over and play? They will keep coming. Many of them will appear. When the door to the Golden Land is opened, I will call back all of my furniture and build my new castle here on Rokkenjima. Then I plan to invite all of my old friends, and we will drink and dance together for 3 days and 3 nights. Of course, I also plan to invite Kinzo's family. You see, you too if you wish.
So is this what you mean? That since you lost your power for a long time, you couldn't summon them? And then, since your magic power has been gradually increasing, you've become able to summon more and more monsters?
It is as you say. You stopped a hair's breadth before crumbling, but your heart is already wavering. And you are unable to deny that I am a witch. That wavering in your heart has been slowly restoring my power as a witch.
So are you trying to say that creepy butler appeared because I started to surrender?
That's right. Bit by bit, you are surrendering to me. Isn't all that humiliation you suffered in the last game a result of you submitting to me so deeply? Wasn't it great when you had to sacrifice your back for the sake of my feet?
I'll admit that may have awakened something in me, but... Damn it! I thought I'd be able to keep things as they were as long as I didn't accept you. It looks like that was wrong.
Correct. The closer you get to surrendering, the more the game will swing in my favor. Isn't chess the same? In the process of cornering each other's kings, we trade several pieces. Of course, I still haven't cornered your king. And furthermore, you're giving it everything you've got just to help your king escape, and have lost several pieces to me, as well as a large advantage. It is only natural that further developments will tend to turn in my favor. From now on, you'll probably be frantic as you try to avoid my checkmate. However, as you do, I will steal your pieces from you one by one. In the end, you'll have lost everything but your king, and you won't be able to escape no matter how much you try. Then you will receive a true checkmate.
Hey. Game's not over until the game's over. You remember that time we played chess?
Yeah. It can go on as long as both people want.
Yeah, exactly.
You were talking big last time, weren't you? Something about how you'd never accept me and would torment me with eternal torture. Only witches who have reached the endless level can talk about eternity. That's been beyond you ever since the very beginning.
I can't believe I got jump scared by a gay man. It's like high school all over again.
Huh?
It's like high school all over
Yeah,
again.
what happened?
You don't want to know. I'm making
I
shit
want to
up.
know. Oh, okay, you're making shit up?
Yeah.
Damn.
Kinzo-sama has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. The rules apply equally to all who can read the epitaph. If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you. Tonight, I ask that you enjoy your battle of wits with Kinzo-sama to the fullest. I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden.
When Maria finished reading the letter that Beatrice had handed her, everyone sat at lost words for a while, and then they all broke the silence at once. Ridiculous! What a wordless, just prank!
Seriously. There's no way Father gave up the head's ring. Beatrice? Ha! What a transparent prank. Hoping to confuse us just by bringing up that name.
Hey, who filled this dessert up with a little too much punch?
You did.
I wanna applaud and praise you, so come clean, okay? Rosa? Why the fuck do you blame me? Of course not! I wanna pull a prank by assuming Father's name? Then Aniki!
Me? Are you an idiot? It was Nissan, right? Only he could plan something this vulgar. Are you trying to mock me? I'm the one who wants to question you. Who's behind this ill-natured prank?
Cross beat the table and stared at everyone. Since that glued the children too, he scared most of them. I wish Balor was just like, how about we just shut the fuck up for a moment and maybe think about the riddle? Alright.
A letter from a mysterious person who claims to have been given full rights to Father's assets. Considering that the whole point of this family conference is the discussion of that subject, I think it's too hasty to call this a mere prank.
We can't be sure. Maybe it really is one of Father's shady pranks. You might have planned this to shock us a bit since we've been discussing the distribution of his inheritance without him. If Dad was the one who planned this, then we can't take what Maria-chan just read aloud as a joke, right?
That's right. If you interpret the contents literally, then this is a test from Father. The epitaph of the witch has been displayed in the hall for quite some time now, so that any one of us could solve it. There was plenty of notice. That means he was saying that the first person to solve it would be handed the inheritance along with all of his wealth, right?
See? My magic granted your wish. Nothing so foolish could possibly be the case. It is an unshakable fact that my husband is the successor to the Ushiromiya family headship.
Well, doesn't this letter shake that? This is a message from the person who was given full rights to all of Father's wealth. Nissan's right to become the head has returned to a blank slate. Person who solves the riddle. person who finds Beatrice's gold will become the next head of the Ushiromiya family. Ridiculous. Do you think we can trust the meaningless
Oh
words
fuck, sorry.
in that letter? That the seal was the real thing? There's no way we could trust that. Then let's try to go and ask Father directly. At this point, you can't get away with saying he's grumpy or feeling bad, right? The sealed wax clearly shows that this was from Father's representative. If you doubt that, then show some proof, Nisan. Show that this letter does not contain Father's will. Very well. It is just as you say. It no longer matters whether Father's in a good mood or not. Let us go up and ask him directly.
Let's do it. We'll ask Dad directly. Dad is Dad, so why would he act in such a roundabout way? Then again, I guess that would be like him. I wonder if we should really continue the discussion of the assumption that this letter came from Father.
Stupid Rosa.
Oh, what the fuck?
Isn't it obviously from Father? That letter is Father's. Isn't it obvious that he's giving the four of us an even chance to become the successor? Tie your brains, idiot.
Whoa! Rosa really is dumb. If only she'd just give up and die. Whoa. I'm sorry. That's right. I'm sorry. In the beginning, the adults had all doubted the credibility of Letter. I could just imagine Battler like, whoa! But after realizing that this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance in the inheritance struggle for the three younger siblings, Ava changed her position, claiming that the letter was authentic. Rudolph and Rosa caught on and agreed. Outrageous! How can adults like you take such a worthless prank this seriously? I don't need to be Father to understand his contempt. Whoa! Natsui-san, all we gotta do is ask Father and we're done, right? Won't everything be fine if Father just tells us that he doesn't know about any letter?
Nisan, take responsibility and just get him to say that he doesn't know about the letter. This is no time to get scared just because he's in a bad mood, okay?
He's still scared of Father at his age, that idiot. If only he'd just give up and die.
Yeah. Let's get this settled clearly. He's probably eating in his study right now. Let's have him set down his chopsticks for just a moment.
It's decided. Let's go. Kyrie, wait here for a while. We'll go to check whether it's true or not and come back quickly.
Thank you. I'll wait patiently for Goda-san to bring in dessert.
The four siblings, Natsui and Hideyoshi, all rose from their seats forcefully and flew out into the hallway with a clatter. Afterwards, only the children, stunned completely speechless, Nanjo, who looked uncomfortable, and Kyrie, who just shrugged, were left.
Can we pause here?
Yeah, no problem. Alright, we took a break to eat because we were hungry. Hold on.
I was mostly hungry.
I was also starving.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of all this was Maria, who looked a little scared at the adult's sudden change. However, judging from her appearance... Oh, wait. There we go. Almost forgot to unmute. She didn't look like she realized the full meaning of what she'd just read. What in the world was that all about? I don't get it. Oh, bastards. Do they really want the inheritance that much? Everyone, this is our parents' problem. It has nothing to do with us. You mustn't worry about it. Balor's like, nah. Anyone can solve this riddle. It has something to do with us. Even if you say that, they're so blatant about it. I can't believe them. Showing off their greed like that.
Everyone has to believe together that we'll be happy.
That's right. We all did promise. Come on, Valor-kun, Jessica-chan, you too.
I feel horrible. We couldn't accept it all, but we laid down our arms for the time being. We've been vaguely aware of how filthy this family conference was going to be. However, after that 6-year blank, I couldn't help being shocked. When he saw that the children were completely dejected, Dr. Nanjo cleared his throat uncomfortably. It's an adult matter. It has nothing to do with all of you young people. Let us forget about it. I would if I could.
I know it's hard, but forget it for now. All of your parents are fighting frantically to make your futures just a little brighter.
I wish Maria's just spoke. I'm like, hey guys, we can solve it too. The letter was very explicit in saying whoever it is.
Please, don't look at your injured parents with those cold eyes when they come back.
Don't try and stop me. No matter how much you ask us, Kirei-san, that'll be tough. If we could be happy with an explanation like that, we wouldn't be kids.
Ooh, everyone, be happy. Can't get dark. Believe. If everyone doesn't believe we can be happy, that happiness will get away. Everyone has to believe. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I like the sound of that. I believe too. I believe we can find happiness.
Ooh.
When did it get bright outside? What the fuck?
Aunt Curie, thank you. Badler and Jessica, you believe too. Beatrice is always saying that magic won't have any power if you don't believe. Ooh.
Kirei-san rose from her seat quietly, went over to Maria, and crouched down so their eyes met. Beatrice isn't real. It's just like, oh my god, Kirei.
Aunt Curie believed. Now, Badler and Jessica have to believe.
Those two are strong. They'll feel better soon, and then they'll believe.
Yeah.
More importantly, I want you to tell me something.
When Kirei-san said that, Jessica, George, Aniki, Dr. Nanjo, and I all listened closely. Who the fuck is Beatrice? Who gave you that fucking letter? It's like, whoa, 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 whoa! It looked like our parents were so concerned with the inheritance problem that grandfather filled their minds. But we wanted to ask Maria about something simpler.
What?
Who gave you that letter?
Beatrice.
The witch drawn in that portrait?
Ooh. She gave me this letter and an umbrella. And she used magic to fix my rose that was broken. Beatrice is an awesome witch who can do anything.
Could you tell us about that in a bit more detail?
Oh god, the window! Not again! If this doesn't stop, all the windows in this house are gonna be broken. Without even being allowed to wait for dessert, we were chased out of the room. I heard that, in the end, our parents were unable to get grandfather to respond. Oh, I hate to say it, but I feel like giving grandfather a high five right now. You know what? I'm gonna do that right now. Hey, Grandpa, can I give you a high five?
Who the fuck are you?
Cool! He was probably pretty satisfied with how this strange letter had given his children a good shock, since they'd all been so infatuated with the inheritance problem while grandfather was still alive. I also felt like our despicable parents had gotten what they deserved in all this confusion. But I couldn't really say that I was feeling great. I felt all sulky. Apparently, grandfather hadn't seemed concerned with the whole thing, but he also hadn't denied anything about the letter either. When talking about the witch's letter, grandfather's name kept popping up. If grandfather knew that someone was stealing his name, then considering his character, he'd probably be mad with rage. But even though grandfather now knew the contents of that letter, he coldly ignored it. So, did that count as a silent yes? Aunt Ava and Dad were trying to interpret the letter in their favor, their greed clearly visible. It wouldn't have mattered so much if that was all, but the adults had now started focusing on Maria, who had received the letter. They kept pounding her with questions about who had given it to her. Maria repeated over and over again that she had gotten it from Beatrice, but there was no way such a mysterious person could have sneaked onto the island. After all, this island's small, and there's no one living on it outside the Uchinomiya family household, except for the massive, uncharted forest. And the fucking chapel that... Maria kept repeating that she'd gotten it from Beatrice no matter how many times she was asked. The adults seemed to think she was trying to trick them, so they didn't hold back and question her until she broke out in tears. When Maria was released, she sobbed, all worn out from crying. After our parents ordered us to go to the guest house and take Maria with us, they shut themselves up in the dining hall and started getting louder and louder as they discussed the inheritance. It seemed that, because of that strange letter, Uncle Krause's chances of becoming the next head might have been reduced to a blank slate. And in exchange for accepting him, my dad and the rest were trying to swindle Uncle Krause out of a lot of money, or something like that. Disgusted as we were, Jessica and I were happy to move over to the guest house. We didn't want to be under the same roof as those filthy adults, their heads so filled with thoughts about money. George Aniki pleaded on our parents' behalf, saying that he wanted us to understand them. I understood his reasoning. No matter how filthy this talk of money was, it wouldn't go away if you just closed your eyes to it. But even so, how could they sink so low as to overtly fight over the money of the dead? Maria had cried herself dry and was hiding in her bed. She hadn't even twitched for a while, so she was probably sleeping.
Who in the world gave that letter to Maria-chan?
George Nissan? You can't ask her that anymore. Isn't it fine to say that Maria got it from Beatrice and leave it at that? After all, we don't want to make her cry any more than this. Even though we said that, we couldn't clear away a gloomy feeling.
There are only 18 people on this island now. The thought that somewhere in the rain a 19th person gave Maria-chan that letter and is now hiding somewhere doesn't seem realistic at all. I mean, it's not like there's multiple buildings that are... It's not like there's a fucking mansion, an entire forest that isn't there, and a fucking chapel.
Most likely, somebody got Shannon or someone to put on the dress from that portrait and cleverly got Maria to go along with her story. Though in Maria's case, just seeing the dress would probably convince her that it really was Beatrice. Maybe it doesn't really matter who handed her the letter. The important thing is who sent it. Point is that grandfather wanted to cause an uproar by assuming the name of the witch. Seriously, that old geezer's good at riling people up. The most likely answer is that our cult-loving grandfather was playing around, handing the letter over to Maria, who shares the same hobby as he does, in such a dramatic way. Though he failed to give any thought for what Maria would have to go through, making it a pretty shitty thing to do. Seriously, messing around with Maria's pure heart. Doesn't matter who handed the letter over. Maria says she got it from Beatrice, so let's treat it that way.
I agree. Let's do that. Maria-chan, Beatrice is kind of like what Santa Claus is to most kids.
Whether we're dealing with some non-existent 19th person or Santa Claus, as long as we all acknowledge them, they'll at least exist inside Maria. I see. Guess it can be important to lie to a child to protect their dreams. What's up, Jessica? Are you still angry? Jessica had her hand on her chin as though there was something that she just couldn't understand. When I called out to her, she came to her senses. Sorry. Well, actually, I was wondering if Maria might have actually met Beatrice. What do you mean by that? Are you saying there's a 19th person on this island?
If you truly take Maria-chan's words to heart, then you would arrive at that answer.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, I'm talking about the story that someone we don't know has been living on this island since long ago. Living, you say? Where? Jessica, I could kiss you. Finally! Finally! In the forest! The massive fucking forest that no one has actually explored? Finally! Oh my god! Oh, fuck. Finally. Man, there's a lot of fucking cliffhanger lines. The adults were gathered in the dining hall, spending a very long time continuing the discussion that had been started by Beatrice's letter. Krause strongly claimed that the letter was a simple prank, but he couldn't overturn the claim that Kinzo's failure to deny the letter was answer enough. Judging by Kinzo's character, if he knew that a letter had been written in his name, he would be mad with rage. Since all the siblings knew that, Kraus had no choice but to withdraw his claim. Without even having to summarize it, the contents of the letter were simple. The person who could solve the witch's epitaph would receive the headship and assets. This did a lot of damage to Kraus, who had been sure that he would receive the headship, and it was better news than the rest of them, who had already given up, could have hoped for. However, there were some points that worried them. The person who solved the epitaph was not limited to a member of the Ushiromiya family. Taken literally anyone, no matter how doubtful their origin, really, might receive the headship. And furthermore, this meant there was a chance that all of the Ushiromiya family assets would be stolen away by some unknown person. In that sense, it was definitely not a situation where even the other siblings could afford to lower their guard. Had this letter come from an assassin sent by Kinzo, calling themselves Beatrice? Or was it the scheme of some unknown person trying to steal the Ushiromiya family's wealth? They still didn't know the truth. But they could say one thing for certain. Maria had received this problematic letter today, on this island. In other words, someone planning something to do with that letter was on this island today. Had it been set up by Kinzo, one of the 4 siblings, or maybe some unknown person. No matter how much they suspected each other, they couldn't reach a conclusion. After getting tired of bickering with each other, they finally reached the extremely obvious conclusion that doubting each other was just a waste of time.
We've made no progress. We've just been spinning our wheels. That's right. And the mere fact that you've realized it means we won't have to waste any more time.
It is not certain that father sent the letter. My husband is merely exasperated by your inability to hold a conversation.
Who is unable to hold a conversation? You keep yelling at me every time I say something. Do you truly think that such shameful behavior is fitting for a member of the Ushiromiya family?
Would you give it a rest, Ava? You too, Natsui-san. That topic's finished for now. Shall we all cool our heads off for now? Let's have some cool drinks brought over.
That sounds good. It would probably be wiser if we cooled our heads. Don't you want to take a short break too, dear?
Aniki looks like she's in a bad mood, so I'll pass on that break. But I agree about the cool drinks. Rosa, have someone bring some water. A whole pitcher. Yes, understood. That's very specific, but alright. Rosa headed over to the extension telephone in the corner of the room and called the servant room. She then passed on what Rudolph had told her to the person on the other end. The vicious bickering up until now vanished as though it had been a lie. That silence continued until Goda finished setting the table and retreated from the room.
Is there anything else that you require?
Answers. No, please, leave us.
Yes. Then if you will excuse me. If you need anything, call me at any time.
You haven't seen Cannon yet. I miss him. After listening to the sound of Goda's footsteps disappear off into the distance, everyone took a deep breath at the same time to break the tension.
It sure is raining hard. I wonder if this 19th person is taking shelter in the Rose Garden Arbor about now.
Just imagining a fucking soaking wet Beatrice, just like, God damn it.
I wonder. They might be able to escape the rain there, but it would be quite cold. A mysterious 19th person as a visitor. Sounds pretty interesting, just like a mystery novel. Normally, in that kind of story, it's a safe bet that the person doesn't exist, that one of us 18 would be faking it. I suspect Genji and the others. Goddamn, Natsuki! Just as I thought. It would have been better if we dismissed all the servants of the One-Winged Eagle, no matter what excuses we had to make.
Come now, don't say that. We must be grateful for their long years of service. Of course, we can't let our guard down.
The idea... Look, I love Natsui. I'm not gonna deny that she's a bit of a bitch sometimes. The idea that she's suspecting someone who's been working for them since she was 6?
Yeah. I'm sure you agree too, Nissan, that whether or not Father was behind this, the person who handed Maria the letter was a servant. Indeed. In any event, we were all being friendly in our big happy circle until dinner, weren't we? All the siblings have alibis. Only a servant could have handed Maria that letter.
But all the servants said they were too busy with the bed making to have any spare time during which they could go to Maria-chan in the Rose Garden. Why are you adding Chan as your own daughter?
Hey, what are you trying to say then? You aren't saying that the Witch of the Forest, Beatrice-sama, came over and actually handed Maria that letter, are you?
Rosa, you used to believe in that so much it really frightened you, right? Don't tell me you still believe it at this age. In the Witch of the Forest.
You're a fucking cunt.
If she did exist, I'd love for her to appear. But no matter how much I wish, she didn't appear before me even once.
Alright, I'll let you have that line.
Yeah, this is her internal monologue.
I mean, yeah, but we usually just have me reading.
Yeah. She didn't save me from my crisis.
Of course not. I just thought that since all 18 of us said we didn't do it, there might really be a 19th person.
That can't be. In the first place, we were the only ones that came in on that boat. That we know of. We didn't see any mysterious stranger riding with us. You don't think they could have swum across the rough sea, right? I can't really imagine it.
Logically, that's true. It is difficult to imagine that there's a single hidden and uninvited guest on this isolated island. However, it looks like some of us still can't abandon the possibility completely, right?
Hideyoshi had laughed it off, saying there couldn't be a 19th person. But Kirie had sensitively picked up on the delicate atmosphere among the four siblings. In a normal situation, there shouldn't have been any uninvited guests in this small, isolated island. How would they have come here, and from where, and where were they hiding? And why hadn't they appeared openly, even though they had sent a letter in their name? Nothing could explain that. But not only had the four siblings not joined in on Hideyoshi's laughing, they also seemed unable to completely deny in their hearts the possibility of a 19th person.
Kirie-san, please don't misunderstand. It's not as though we believe in anything like that fairy tale like Legend of the Witch.
Is this another topic to insult Father? Simply speaking of such a thing is a betrayal against him.
I wonder. However, this is Father we're talking about. It could be possible, right?
I don't know anything.
What's this? Why has everyone gone so gloomy? What are you talking about? In short, the legend of the witch isn't a joke but a fact? That's ridiculous! Of course, nobody believes in some witch riding a broom and flying in the sky. But the woman in that portrait, Beatrice, might really have existed on this island.
Hideyoshi-san, it looks like we aren't talking about a witch, but something a little simpler. So it must be something like this. Everyone suspects that Father had a mistress named Beatrice, secretly living somewhere on this island.
Perhaps in the old crypt. The old what?
Is that it?
Father was always exemplary at keeping strictly to the rules. It is completely inconceivable that he would bring something so filthy onto this island. Natsui snapped at them immediately, but it looked like the four siblings, including Kraus, didn't agree. On the contrary, they appeared to think that Kinso wouldn't even have hesitated to do something like that.
It's so funny how much of a Kinzo bootlicker she is.
I don't blame her. She's going through it constantly.
I know, but it's so funny.
It is hilarious. From the beginning, it had been whispered that Kinso had built a mansion on this island specifically because of the existence of an entrancing mistress.
She likes him more than any of his family does. She'll defend him to the grave. Well, all of his children are just go, yeah, I hate that guy. He's a piece of shit.
I'm sorry, Natsuhi-san. I know how much you respect Dad, but that rumor's been around for a long time. All the buildings on Rokkenjima were built by Dad on his own.
What buildings are there? People always guessed that he had some contraption or secret room set up in this mansion that only he knew about. And it's always been whispered that hidden somewhere on this island there's a secret mansion none of us know about. I swear to fucking God. If there's another entire fucking mansion, I'm gonna go insane.
I see. This island might look small on a map, but it's quite large for just the Ushiromiya family to live on. Oh. So people have suspected that he built a secret mansion somewhere in the uncivilized forest for his mistress to live in. That would be quite a large-scale scheme.
In the beginning, people thought it might be somewhere inside this mansion. And there might be a hidden basement with a fabulous hidden room where the witch in that portrait was secretly hiding. After seeing that intricate autolock on that study, it isn't too hard to imagine, right?
After all, Father had spread the rumor that a large amount of gold was hidden somewhere by some mechanism. I wouldn't be surprised if there exists some hidden room inside this very mansion that none of us knows about yet. When Mother was alive, she would often scour the entire mansion searching for Father when he wasn't anywhere to be found. Mother also suspected what Rudolph just said. She believed there was a hidden door or stairway somewhere, and that his blonde-haired mistress was hidden behind it.
It's hard to believe, but there are some actual examples in other countries of people cheating with someone over a period of several decades by making them live in a hidden attic room. Furthermore, Genzo had a mansion this extravagant. It was possible to suspect the existence of a hidden room.
From what I've heard, the legend of the Rokkenjima witch was just a fairy tale, made up to scare children away from the uncivilized forest. But it's starting to sound like there's a little more to the story.
Well, as you know, this is a lonely island without anything but the Ushiromiya mansion on it, and the chapel, and the guest house, and a fucking 7-Eleven, and an IKEA, and a Walmart. When Rosa and I were little brats on stormy nights, we got so scared by the sound of trees rustling in the direction of the forest. We had this crazy delusion that something weird might be looking out at us from between those trees. It's only natural for a brat to think of stuff like that. But when Rosa and I complained about it, some people figured it was more than a brat's imagination. Isn't that right, Aneki?
Yeah. Nisan and I thought you might have coincidentally spotted Father's mistress, living in secrecy on this island as she went out for a walk when no one was looking. Of course, Mother felt the same. Even among the older servants, you often heard that ghost story about how the Witch of the Portrait wanders the mansion at midnight. Outwardly, I laughed it off as just a ghost story, but on the inside, I suspected very much that it hinted at the existence of a hidden mistress.
In that case, you're saying that the existence of a 19th person might not be completely ridiculous? That they might actually be somewhere around here?
Sounds like one of those devil's proofs Rudolph's always talking about. It might be possible to prove that there is a 19th person, but it's impossible to prove that a 19th person doesn't exist. Should we continue this discussion under the assumption that there's a person named Beatrice hiding somewhere on this island?
That's a good plan, from the perspective of risk management. It's probably much more prudent to say she might exist rather than saying she couldn't exist. I see. Sorry, I was a bit careless. Rosa-san, sorry for laughing just now. Finally, she gets an apology. Holy shit. It's fine, I don't mind. Hideyoshi apologized deeply for taking the worst case scenario lightly, despite calling himself the president of a company. We're gonna end it there.
Sounds good.
Alright.
Oh, did you say? Oh, you said
Yes.
okay. I almost thought you didn't.
Alright. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Umineko.
Yay!
I'm shocked after episode 2 seeing like how quickly shit's like get going.
Yeah.
and hopefully this momentum just keeps going.
Yeah, it
Um,
does.
All right,
It
thanks,
does.
Christ. I hope you'll join us next time. Bye for now.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment.